Wow, my aching behind, I swear to God, that frustrates me to no end. If you've just been into the last one, I got lost all the audio to everything, so I had to restart the entire stream. So sorry about that. There, sorry. I'm just going to tell these people on the other stream, go to the new stream, guys, because I've just been booted off that stream. So yeah, I'm currently back in. We're ready to go. We've picked a song. That's the wrong one again. My goodness. I'm so sorry, guys. Okay. Here we go. We're on. I can get rid of that. Now, we've chosen a song already, which is fantastic. Please do come along and have a look. We're going to use the song Don't Stop Me Now by Queen, which is fantastic. And I've already put that through. I've put that into Logic for you already in the last couple of minutes before the shit hit the fan. Sparky's back and he's watching. Thank you. And we're drinking the Electric Boots and Mohair Suits Oat Cream here from the Akasha Project. Akasha Project. I don't know how to say it, but I know how to drink it, so I'm really happy with that. Get that inside you there. Go down the Hop Supply Co and pick one of those up. Pick a box up. Good time. So to complement our beer tonight, we'll be looking at some individual stems from the song Don't Stop Me Now by Queen. To avoid getting copyright struck too early, again tonight we're going to take those tracks individually with the parts of those that are least recognisable, so we don't get sprung. And when we do play those bigger parts, we can't play more than 10 seconds at a time, I think, or because it starts to. Let's not bore you with that. Let's just go and have a look over at the mix. Cool. So we have all of the tracks here, the individual kick, the individual snare. However, it does say it's a stem, so perhaps it has been mixed through a stereo bus. The Don't Stop Me Now kit stem. So I'm interested to hear, what is that? Let's have a listen. So it sounds like the overheads, right? Cool. That's definitely got to be overheads. Then we have this percussion stem, which happens about halfway through here. Okay, we can dig it. We've got a bass stem here. But let's go back up to that kick drum. And we want to hear what this sounds like, because we know what kick drums are supposed to look like. We know what kick drums are supposed to sound like. But how did these guys get this song done back in the day? Excuse me. Bonus points if you can tell me what year this song was released, and even more points if you can tell me what year it was recorded, because I don't know either of those. They could be the same day, same year. But look, again, we've got these really big fat waves too. You can see how the start of the wave, the attack of the wave is quite big and then blobby, but then the end of it too, like that's only a few cycles, right? The end of it as well is quite thick. Look at that, that's real big blobby. I wonder how many, look at that, how many cycles is that? 1, 2, 3. It's only like wow, really? And that sounds so fat. Every one of those is like, oh, the bit depth on this one's a lot better than before. Yesterday we had a look and we could see the bit depth of it was like 8 or 12 bit, but we're looking right into this one and you can see the resolution of that individual wave is quite high. Give me that back. Oh no, we can see some wobbles. Yeah, we can see some sampling happen there. Okay, maybe that's just because it's so big that it looks like that. But that's pretty crispy, man. Like maybe it's just how Logic smooths that out. But anyway, let's keep listening to that kick drum by itself. And again, these mixes, they've got nothing on them. That's flat audio, no pan, no EQ, nothing. And why does it get really big in this section here? What's this? Is this that Don't Stop Me, have a good time? Here we go. Don't stop me, hey, don't stop me, who, don't stop me, have a good time, don't stop me. Wow, that's got to be it. Yeah, that's the solo there. Anyway, now without spoiling too much, we'll go down to the next channel. which is going to be a snare. Always love hearing isolated snares. It makes me feel inadequate every time I mic my own snares. Wow, that's really kind of thin. That's so thin. I'm interested in what that's producing. Let's have a look. Well, you can see here, there's a bit of 170-ish happening, and then a bit of 6K down to 2K. 3.5 and 6K is really popping. So let's have a listen to that individual. You can hear that kind of freaking out. Hear that? That's 152 hertz. And that's where all the body of that snare lives. And then all of this stuff up here is the crispy. I'll bring that. All that papery sound. I'll filter this out so you can't hear it. That's all the top of the end of the snare. And then we'll take the top out here. And that's all the bottom, the body. Wow. Go back to, how do we undo all that? Oh, it doesn't matter. We're not going to use it anyway. We're not mixing Queen for Queen, so I'll just take that away. Wow, you can hear the compression act on that. I mean, it doesn't look overly compressed because you can see it still has a lot of dynamics here. You can see that there's heaps of that's like what a snare normally looks like, a classic triangle taper, like a trumpet horn. Whereas the kick kind of looks a little bit like that, but a lot fatter, like bigger, chunkier blobs. Well, let's hear that with the kick. That's so good. Very beefy. Like, everything's got its own place in the frequency spectrum. A lot of people think that if you want to have a big sounding snare, it needs to sound good all the way across the frequency spectrum, but it doesn't. It doesn't have to. Listen to what that kick's reproducing. That kick's not even producing any top end at all. It's been filtered all the way out. Like, this does bugger all. I mean, it's there, obviously, but let's take all the bottom end out and have a look. So there's something happening, but it's barely there. It's all bottom. And then the snare is living in its own little house up here. So it's got a little bit of that hit from the bottom, but it's still not interfering with the kick drum there. The kick drums are living down at that 60 area, and this is living up at that 150 area. But it's taking that frequency spectrum up there, and it's just filling its own slot, so that's really awesome. Okay, I'm going to pause that now, and we'll go ahead for the overheads. Let's just go back to the start of that, and we can hear... Oh, you can hear some other instrumentation in the background there too. Yeah. Yeah, right. Burning through the sky, yeah. 200 degrees. Let's turn that snare on. You can hear that in the overheads. That adds all the crack. And then that kick drum. That's the stuff. I'm having a ball. Don't stop me now. Give me a call. Sorry. You can't help yourself with Queen. Listen to that percussion, right? That's just adding that little bit of jingle up there. My percussion don't jingle, jingle. Give you some Louis. And still you can hear all that bass in the background. There's the original bass. As if that's not DI'd. There's no room about it at all. It sounds like a straight feed. but it is a little crispy. Let's play it with the drums. See, that actually here's something I'd like to do to put them up against each other. This is how you should mix drums and bass, especially in this rock stuff. I mean, it's different now. It's a modern, very different sound for sure. But if we have a listen to these two instruments, you can hear them both. In a lot of music, when you're in sort of the getting into music and getting into mixing world, you won't be able to hear those two instruments together very well often when you're trying to learn how to mix. And these are great to learn how to mix because they're so exaggerated. Look at that. That's just low-end frequencies out of that kick drum. See? Kick drum. And then we'll go to this bass guitar, and you can see where the bass guitar is living here. So kick drum's got all of that 50 and 60 area happening. Bass guitar's up around that 70, 80, 100. And then the snare, as we saw before, sitting around that 150. So they're all taking up their own little slot in the frequencies band spectrum. And look, it's got all those notes. It's got harmonics happening up here, of course. Wow, just a classic case of everything's got a job to do and everything's got its own slot to fill. I remember having a sit with a guy who became very good friends of ours in my first band, Rocksteady. And what we were doing is we're having a rehearsal and we're getting ready for this recording that we were doing. And our bass player was having trouble just kind of getting his sound to come through. He had a great big amp. We all had great big amps. I didn't because I was singing for that band. But we all had great big amps and a great big drum kit. And we couldn't quite discern the bass from the other parts of the music. So what we ended up doing was removing all the low end from the guitar amps. Pretty much just down to like 100 hertz. Let's have a look at the EQ here, right? Down to 100. So basically this is what it would look like if you rolled it off on a guitar. It'd be like this. So nothing was coming through below 100 hertz on a guitar, maybe even 150. And, I don't know if there was much of a mid-scoop. I don't think there was. We weren't doing Metallica stuff, we kind of were. But we got rid of that in the guitars, and then we got rid of some other stuff from the bass. Like, we got rid of about that sort of 1.5K thing, and we probably gave him a bump around 3, which is also where the kick drum sort of lives. So that would have probably happened like this. We have a little parametric EQ on his thing. Probably would have given him a bump around that 3K for a bit of that fingerstyle stuff. But what was most important, to get him to cut through, we gave him a bump at about 600. For the kind of stuff that we were playing, that was really helpful to us to have. I'll get rid of that. That's for the bass guitar. So this is what the bass ended up looking like, and there's probably a bit of a cut off like that on the bass. So there was a bit of a smiley curve. We gave him about a 600 bump, maybe a little bit more like that. Probably not as exaggerated, but a few dB in a live situation can do that for you there. So our bass player ended up having this slot that he now fitted into that the guitars didn't live, because the guitars no longer had real estate in this area that the bass needed. So the bass could fill this stuff naturally, and then we gave him a little hump around 600 and a little bit of a hump around 2 o'clock in the afternoon when he needed one. No, around that 3K area. So he had the thwack and he had all that stuff, and he also had the body that he needed to get through to where he needed to go. And it worked out great. It ended up sounding fantastic. Anyway, enough of that. We can see that here, though, is that we're filtering out all this stuff here that this instrument doesn't need. If we take that away, turn that off, you can hear there's nothing going up there. It's just like a radio. But down here, it's all happening. It's all happening down there. That's fantastic. Wow. Okay. Well, we've had a good look at the drums and the bass. There's not a whole lot of guitar in this song. We'll go to piano. Piano's really good and really easy. I won't give too much of the start away because that'll flag that'll just flag a whole nother issue of copyright stuff. But we can hear that, just classic.
Fahrenheit, traveling at the speed of light. I'm gonna make a supersonic man out of you.
So, obviously, really nice and busy the way this song needs to be. It's a very fast-paced song. Can be seen in the movie Shaun of the Dead in the pub where they kill the Queen. He doesn't mean kill the Queen. He means kill the Queen. Turn that Queen music off. Yeah, there's not too much to say really about that. I mean, it sounds a little mid-rangey. Let's look at it. We can see that, yeah, there's not a lot of low end, which is fine. Because if we did, it's getting where the bass and the drums are. And obviously it starts sounding a little papery, but it's still very rich. This is fantastically recorded, obviously. You could thicken it up. But why would you? It sounds great as it is. You could also thicken it up by taking away. Subtractive EQ is a really good way to do it. Instead of adding stuff, you take it away to complement other frequencies. So it also makes things work less hard. You're trying to add something that's not there, but you can take away what is. But yeah, quite rich, quite nice.
Don't stop me now. I don't want to stop at all.
Man, I suck.
Fucking hell, man. Oh, I can't get over Freddie, how good Freddie is. Because, like, fuck.
Freddie Mercury, man. Cannot get over him. I think if everybody just would practice singing Queen songs. Never sing them publicly because why would you? But, like, yeah, my goodness. Here's a little bit of that Brian May solo just by itself. Hopefully we can get away with this. Listen to that. It's filthy, isn't it? Look at that. He dug that one out of the grave. Man. Oh, you can hear the phaser. You can hear the phaser. Can you hear that? Let's get in on it. Oh, wow, that's really cool. You can hear the phaser going off. And not only that, you can hear his headphone send. You can hear, like, obviously they have the headphones up pretty loud in the studio, and he's inside a room. His guitar is obviously in the same room that he's recording in because you can hear the headphones coming back through the microphone that was used to record the guitar. That's great. Wow. Okay, we'll get rid of that. Oh, and then they gated that off there, or just cut it, and he might have come back in. Yeah, he might have come and added that in later, but that's all from Brian May in that song. Wow, out of that whole song, he's only in there for, what? Like a sixth of the song? So I had to squint my eyes to figure out how long the song actually is. It's still pretty great. All right. I might, while we're doing that, I'll chuck some piano on. I just want to have a sip of my beer. But let's have a listen to this piano again. Yeah. Will we get away with listening to that with the guitar? Who knows? But more piano.
Oh, explode.
Yeah. Just check these comments out as well if you got anything you want to add. Terps, I finally caught you. Managed to get you in. Great. Go fuck yourself, Brendan Spark. Fantastic. All right, now, what did we all come here for? We all came in here for Freddie's vocals, because don't we all just want to hear them? But let's have a listen to the backup vocals first. Let's check this out. This is the backup vocals for Don't Stop Me Now. I don't know what they're going to be. I haven't heard this for a long time. I actually did do a version of this. It's embarrassing as hell. You'll never hear it.
Don't stop me now.
Fucking hell.
Don't stop me. Having a good time, having a good time.
Oh, okay, guys, that's all for today. No, fucking hell, listen to that. How good is that? Oh, man.
Don't stop me now. Don't stop me. Having a good time, having a good time.
As if that's not happening at the gates of heaven when you die and you happen to be Christian and you go to that heaven. Freddie Mercury's cherub, dressed as a cherub, and there's 17 of him, and he's singing this.
Don't stop me now. Don't stop me.
Having a good time, having a good time. Wow, okay. Let's hear some more up in the next part.
Supersonic man out of you.
They're all Freddie too, aren't they? Are they?
Supersonic man out of you.
No, they're not all Freddie. You can hear because the guys breathe differently.
Supersonic man out of you.
Yeah, some of those are Brian May on the left.
Supersonic man out of you.
Now, let's just have a listen.
Don't stop me now.
You're only here for Flash.
Don't stop me now.
Yeah.
Don't stop me now. Don't stop me now.
That's from the take that he would have done with the guys, with the rest of the band in the room. They stand around the same microphone and pump each other up, and they'll, last night I was talking about that mid-side technique with the one microphone directly at the front and the other one in a figure eight around. They would have done that, and they would have sat in front of that microphone, and they would have crowded around it and sung. And that would have been part of the G up, yeah, come on, boys. And you can see visually on this particular piece of the audio here, I mean, you try not to go by that, you go by ear, but we can see that these two parts are different. That's a left and right channel, and they're separated and recorded differently. So let's hear what that sounds like. Now that is a comp, and that is a true stem of audio mixdown. But listen to how he takes each note and fills it with a separate attack, so that he doesn't go, oh, oh, oh. He goes, oh, 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 like. So, Rob Halford used to do this as well. I mean, lots of singers used to do this. It was a technique. It was probably a similar time with Judas Priest as well. Filling that space with, oh, 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 explode. And each side can take these things and just give you that really cool effect. One more time. Thank you very much, Freddie. Wow. Power. All right, what's the next part?
I'm gonna make a supersonic woman of you.
Now, that's a single. What's going on with that? It's a single
I'm gonna make a supersonic woman of you.
with a gorgeous stereo reverb.
Don't stop me, don't stop me, don't stop me. Don't stop me, don't stop me.
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Don't stop me, don't stop me. Don't stop me, don't stop me.
Ah, that's so sick. Listen to that.
Stop me, don't stop me.
That's like when you tune up a synth, when you get all voices just like the THX theme. That's so great. And you can obviously hear the drums in the background of this.
Don't stop me, don't stop me.
Let's
Stop me, don't stop.
We'll go back to this part. When you can hear the drums in the
Don't
background.
stop me, don't stop me, don't stop me. Don't stop me, don't stop me.
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Don't stop me, don't stop me.
Yeah, the good time, good time.
Don't stop me, don't stop me.
And then he hits the same note as the guitar solo, which I'm going to put back in because, as if you don't want to hear that, the same note as the guitar solo comes in on. So he fades that guitar in.
Don't stop me, don't stop me.
Yeah. All right. One more of those. What a singer, Freddie. All right, now I think this will be the fun part. Okay, I'm going to just go back over to this camera here for a second. See what we got going on here in the thingo. Sparky's here for me and for the Flash. Thank you very much. Whipper, thanks for checking it out. We've been on now for about 25 mins. This is normally the part where it starts getting sketchy and it starts getting cut off. So, and it's worth it. So if you stick around for the next 15, 20, you're going to have a good time. Because this is the part where we get to hear Freddie's isolated vocals by themselves, and we'll start adding in elements of the song there. And again, for educational purposes, I'm not trying to steal money from Queen. I'm not making any money from them. And if Queen would like some money, you're welcome to give me some to give them. But they've got more money than the world. Yeah. Well, let's dive straight into it. I want to go straight back to the start and have a listen to Freddie's vocals. So let's check him out. I'll go back to that window and we'll see our very bottom channel here. I feel like one of those wanky YouTube guys building up the anticipation, but realistically, I mean, how often do you ever get to hear this sort of stuff? This is a great time. Let's beef that up so we can see it. Okay, here we go, guys. Here's the first couple of lines of Freddie Mercury singing "Don't Stop Me Now."
Tonight, I'm gonna have myself a real good time.
Wow.
I feel alive.
Listen to how he falls through those notes. That's what you do when you you shit so well. You don't. He just, instead of la he eases through them. Listen.
I feel alive.
And that last one's a little bit offbeat because he's it's like a back on beat rather, but because he's so lazy on the other ones, and he catches himself.
I feel alive, and the world.
Listen to Freddie's vibrato too, because everyone's is different. Very rarely is it natural. Mine's not natural. Mine's forced because I'm a fucking idiot. But
and the world.
It's it almost is there. It's he's just not giving it any.
And the world.
I find that an admirable trait in singers to be able to sing flat without vibrato, to be able to hold a note. And the world, instead of world, throwing in the sauce. You don't need to throw the sauce on all the time.
And the world.
And he almost does too. He gives you just a little bit.
I'll turn it inside out, yeah. I'm floating around in ecstasy, so.
And then he gives you his falsetto, and you can hear the cigarettes in the last few seconds of that.
I'm floating around in ecstasy, so.
That ecstasy is the cigarettes there. You can hear them.
I'm floating around.
Floating around. And he's tight vibrato. Round,
in ecstasy.
Ecstasy, that's the note there.
In ecstasy.
You can hear it in his voice, the raspiness. That's a smoker's thing.
I'm floating around in ecstasy. So
don't. All right, yeah, we'll put a bit of backing vocal in there too.
Ecstasy. So don't stop me now. Don't stop me, 'cause I'm having a good time. I'm a shooting.
That's interesting. All right, so I took that out prematurely.
'Cause I'm having a good time. I'm a shooting star leaping through the sky like a tiger, defying the laws of gravity. I'm a racing car passing by like Lady Godiva. I'm gonna go, go, go. There's no stopping me. I'm burning through the sky. Yeah. 200 degrees, that's why they call me Mr. Fahrenheit.
200 degrees Fahrenheit's not really a lot. Is it, though? I mean, Brendan Sparks in the comments, he'd probably be able to tell us because he cooks all his meat in Fahrenheit. That's why it tastes more authentic. It tastes more like American brisket because he cooks it in Fahrenheit. What's 200 Fahrenheit, Sparky? Let's find out. Whipperkin GFE. All right. That's good. So, all right, 200 degrees. That's why they call him Mr. Fahrenheit, because he's traveling at the speed of light. I don't know. I reckon if you're traveling at the speed of light, you might be a little hotter than 200 degrees Fahrenheit, which is like oven temperature.
Degrees, that's why they call me Mr. Fahrenheit. I'm traveling at the speed of light. I want to make a supersonic man out of you.
That release on the breath.
I'm having such a good time. I'm having a ball.
Yeah.
If you want to have a good time, just give me a call. 'Cause I'm having a good time. Yes, I'm having a good time. I don't want to stop at all.
There's that vibrato.
I'm a rocket ship.
Oh, and you can hear the punch in there too. Oh, yeah. I'm a rocket. Get ready.
I'm a rocket ship.
Yeah, there you go.
On my way to Mars on a collision.
Sparky says definitely not the speed of light. How much is 200 degrees? It's 93 Celsius. So, Freddie Mercury's Mr. 93 degrees Celsius. That's not the speed of light. I don't think you can cook much at 93. It'll take you all bloody week. That's so great. All right, sorry, more Freddie.
Yes, I'm having a good time. I don't want to stop at
The vibrato.
I'm a
Punch
rocket
in.
ship on my way to Mars on a collision course.
I am a satellite.
I'm out of control. I'm a sex machine ready to reload like an atom bomb. About
No, just grammatically here. I know, not grammatically, but what? Like, you can't reload an atom bomb. Just wanted to let you know.
I'm out of control. I'm a sex machine ready to reload like an atom bomb. About to explode. I'm burning.
Let's hit that with the backup vocals.
About to explode.
Yeah, that's an explosion. That adds that.
I'm
Oof.
burning through the sky. Yeah.
93 degrees Celsius, that's why they go.
100 degrees, that's why they call me Mr. Fahrenheit. I'm traveling at the speed of light. I want to make a supersonic woman of you.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Okay, now we might as well just run through the rest of these Freddies for you because I know that's why you're here. We'll give you some backups.
Stop me, don't stop me, don't stop me. Hey, hey, hey. Don't stop me, don't stop me. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I like don't stop me, don't stop me. Have a good time, good time. Don't stop me, don't stop me. Oh, let loose, honey.
Let loose, honey.
All right.
All right. Now, we're coming up towards the end of the song, which is where, you know, we take off after the solo. There's quite a bit here, though, isn't there? Let's continue.
Oh, burning through the sky, yeah. 200 degrees.
Now, that's also, you can hear that. Sorry, I'm going to cut you away. That's a punch in as well. Because burning through the sky, yeah. Burning through the sky, yeah. There's not a lot of room to breathe. 200 So he has a punch in.
Sky, yeah. 200 degrees, that's why they call me Mr. Fahrenheit. Hey, traveling up.
And then you can hear, hey, traveling. Like that T comes in so fast. He's done these line by line. And you know, a lot of people give shit to, what was that song that went, I can't remember. It was like Alex Whitehead or something like that. One of those guys who was on Idol, and he did every line and then stopped and then recorded it again. It was like, I can't remember what it was, but someone gave him shit for recording it line by line. Freddie Mercury recorded line by line. The guy's pumping out energy all day long. Listen.
Oh, burning through the sky, yeah.
Punch.
200 degrees, that's why they call me Mr. Fahrenheit.
Punch.
Hey, traveling at the speed of light. I want to make a supersonic man out of you. Yeah, yeah. Man, I'm having.
How's that? How good is hearing Freddie doing not a fuck up, but like, men. He's saying, don't stop men, is he?
Yeah, yeah. Man.
Men. But he's singing a part of the song that you can't ever hear, but you can hear it isolated here. Don't stop me now. Don't stop men now, you know.
Make a supersonic man out of you. Yeah, yeah. Man. I'm having such a good time. I'm having a ball.
Full take. Ball!
If you want to have a good time, just give me a call. Cause I'm having a good
One take.
time. Yes, I'm having a good time. I don't want to stop at all.
Or one take. That's a punch in. That's a punch in. You can hear it. But like, isn't that nice to know that these greats did these kind of janky punch-ins? You know, no one else is ever going to hear that, so don't be too precious with your stuff, because, I mean, it's local music. No one gives a shit anyway. Ask me how I know. I've been doing it for that long. But also, just let it happen. It'll be great when it's done. You know, it doesn't make a difference. You can't hear it. It's going to be hidden by all these other things. Like that particular thing is going to be hidden by these gorgeous drum sounds. So there's still stuff going on, and there's going to be other things happening in that area as well. Yeah, you don't even notice that. You don't even notice that there. Let's give that, like, imagine if you had Freddie Mercury over, right? And you're like, hey, Fred. Hey, Mercury Fred. I'd love you to just play piano and sing for me. Except Freddie had, like, 14 clones as well. And you also didn't want to get copyright struck, so you had to start halfway through the song.
Shooting star leaping through the sky like a tiger, defying the laws of gravity.
It can still detect that. That's why nobody's viewing it right now. It says nobody's viewing it. I guarantee. I'm just going to quickly go over to my Facebook window here. I can guarantee that it's gone. It's off the window. I've been struck. Yeah, I'm going to pull that into the window there. So if you are still watching, live video blocked. It looks like your live video may contain music, audio, or video that belongs to someone else. This broadcast is no longer discoverable by other Facebook users. If you stay live, no new viewers will be able to join your stream. So Sparky, Whipper, my mum, Jared Healy, thank you if you are still there. I'm going to resume. Freddie's heart was traveling at the speed of light. It sure was, man. Probably on cocaine, too. So yeah, thanks so much, all you guys, for sticking around. Welcome to send me a message to. I'm copping a couple of texts. Bloody, for lack of a better term. Why did I just do my old man voice? Yeah, bloody, copping a couple of those texts there. So I'm gonna just give me one moment. I'm gonna take a quick look at this because I know Sparky will be like, I'm still watching. Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, okay, couldn't hear anything on the last one. So, yeah, thank you for sticking around. This is going to be back up later. I know it is because UMG will remove the copyright strike because they have done that for me for the last couple of times. So, why would I even bother saying it? It's going to go up later and no one's ever going to know it happened. So, now that we've been copyright struck, let's just listen to the rest of the song. And if they're going to mute it later, they're going to fucking mute it, mate. I can't do nothing about it. So, let's build this song from the start. I want to hear those drums. We'll get the percussion in. Add that bass in. Really dirty bass. Sounds like that like Ampeg sound at the time. And then... look, isn't that funny? You go from nothing to having a song just from a bit of piano. There's not even any guitar, as we can see in this little section here. There's no guitar until this 1/6 of the song. But listen, you add this piano and you get a song. You don't have Queen without Freddie Mercury. I'm really sorry. Adam does a great job, though. Fuck me, Daddy does. Let's get some backups. Let's sing it. Sing it with me. Wanna have a good time. It fucking don't stop me. If you wanna have a good time. Yeah. I did this the other night and it really pissed people off, so I'm doing it again because it was hilarious to me. Who wants to know what Freddie Mercury would sound like if he was auto-tuned? I'm going to do it. Pitch correction. We'll go stereo. All right. You ready? I'm going to give him that T-Pain too.
I'm a rocket ship on my way to Mars on a collision course. I am a satellite. I'm out of control. I'm a sex machine.
Doesn't do anything.
Ready to reload.
Doesn't do anything for Freddie, for Mercury Fred.
Like an atom bomb.
People are really misconstrued around the idea of what autotune actually does. You still have to be an okay singer to have autotune work for you. Like, people can do manual pitch correction to put you into thingo, but you got to notice. And when that happens, that's when you get Rebecca Black's Friday. But if you pitch correct Freddie Mercury, you get nothing because the guy has so much character that you can't be tamed with an automatic button press, right? However, there is bigger versions of this, Melodyne and Antara's autotune, that will do these jobs. But listen.
About explode. I'm burning through the sky. 200 degrees, that's why they call me Mr. Fahrenheit.
You know, I've got him on a really, really fast response time, but if I dial that off there,
I'm traveling up the...
he's not going to do much because Freddie sings in tune, but it's going to tighten him up.
I am a satellite. I'm out of control.
And why would you? Because he's in.
Ready to reload.
So you can't even notice this on here because it doesn't do anything for Freddie Mercury. So let's get rid of it. However, just one really quickly, I went on a rant about this the other night, but I'll do it again because I think it's important. A lot of people poo-poo this tuning stuff, right? Practice with it. If you're a recording artist and you want to get better at singing, practice with this on. I'll create a little track and let's put a track on with my voice on it, right? Input 2. We'll put a track in there. There, yeah, I think that's going to come through. Input selection, hang on. Okay. I'm going to add the auto-tune to my own voice and give you an idea of what that is actually going to do, because you can practice singing with this on, and there's no shame in it, I don't think. I'll turn my audio down here. There we go. Okay. I'll go input. How do all right. Oh, it's just my listening. Okay. Now you can hear me? I hope you can hear me. All right, now I've taken it off, and you can hear me just normally. So, if you're still here, we're having a good time. You can hear that I can speak and go, but when I do that again, you can see this little bar down the bottom here. Oh, it feels like I'm drunk and talking. You can see the little bar here picking up the things that I'm doing and just putting them into perspective within that note, and you can see how far out I am. If you sing with this on, you're going to train yourself to become better at singing by knowing that the note there, it's like singing along with somebody who is singing correctly. However, it is a little robotic because I do have the response really, really low. Fast, rather. So let's hear that again with auto-tune on. I'll just speak normally too. We're back with auto-tune on, and you can hear me speaking normally. And if I want to, don't stop me now. I'm having such a good time. You see what I'm saying? Good time. I'm having a ball. Don't stop me now. I had to get to that E. See, I needed to find how to get back up to that note. Was it the F? Snap! That's an F. And I went from the E to the F by going, no! And you know that if you are slightly under, it will drop you down to the closest note. You can get better by putting this on. You don't have to record with it. You don't have to use it. You don't have to show anybody. You just can use it when you can't pay $150 to get someone who's really good at teaching you how to sing to teach you how to sing. It's not going to change how good you are at tone. It's not going to do anything. It's just going to get your pitch right. So get singing lessons, do all that stuff. But use this when you're at home if you feel like it. It's toy, it's fun, it's cool. But if I don't stop me now, I'm having such a good time, having a ball. Don't stop me now if you want to have a good time. Just give me a call. you can see it's give me a call. It's not as oh man, I can't listen to it like that. It's not as robotic when I have that response time up to the middle, because it's slowly taking the note that I'm on and moving it a little bit later rather than going bup, 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 like I'm sure. Do you Bill? Oh wait, I haven't got it on. No matter how hard I try, you keep pushing me aside and I can't break through. There's no talking to you. See, I can't even sing as good as Sherwood with it on. Put my normal mic back on there for a moment. Get rid of that auto-tune one. Stop dicking around. And hopefully you should still be able to hear that. Don't be afraid of auto-tune, everyone. It's not as bad as people say. T-Pain didn't do anything wrong. T-Pain didn't do anything to music. You know who did? The fuckheads who bought it and made it big. Freddie Mercury doesn't need it because Freddie Mercury knows how to sing. Nothing will ever replace that. Nothing will ever stop people from becoming good singers by themselves. Continue to do that.
Reload like an atom bomb. About to explode.
You can't teach that character. You can't teach explode. You can't teach that. That's theatre. That's not anything else.
Through the sky, 200 degrees. That's why they call me Mr. Fahrenheit. I'm traveling at the speed of light. I wanna make a supersonic woman.
Listen to the start of this little backup vocal that comes in. You can hear the vocals phase because Freddie was so good at doubling his vocals consistently. You can hear it phase. Here, I just want to play that one section. He's saying you want to make in one ear and I'm going to make in the other ear. I'm going to make here. I want to make here. You put them together. But the gonna make, let's just go down to the gonna make. And I put them back in the center. You can hear them phase because they're almost perfect. They're so close that they're phasing. That's amazing.
Supersonic woman of you.
Wow. Backup vocals.
Don't stop me, don't stop me, don't stop me. Hey, hey, hey! Don't stop me, don't stop me.
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
I like don't stop me, don't stop me. Have a good time, good time. Don't stop me, don't stop me. Oh!
Wow, okay. That's probably pretty much all I can really show you here. Everything's been done. And we can listen to everything we need to. Sorry, I'm getting visitors. We can check out those kicks again with the snare. All right. Throw that bass in. Yeah. Piano, this is what makes a song. And then we got Frederick. Fantastic. That'll probably do me for tonight. Like I said to everyone earlier, I do have more of these. That's a download that's available somewhere. Somebody to Love, I needed to convert that. I'm going to see if I can actually do that. Great song, Multitracks from 2018. Another one, Bites the Dust, we haven't done. I've got the waves for that. Og Vorbis. Anyone got an Og Vorbis converter? Crazy little thing called Love. We just went into that. Did we? I Want to Break Free. We did that one last night. Under Pressure with David Bowie at Stems. We could check that out too. And We Are the Champions. And I'm saving this one for a very special time. A song called Bohemian Rhapsody. All individual channels, all individual tracks. We can check that out all together at another point in time. But thank you very much for coming to check this out again. Great time. Enjoy yourselves. Yeah, look, if these guys can do it, you can do it. I mean, like I said, they've got a $400 million studio in the 70s and 80s. You've pretty much got one of those inside the thing you're watching this on now. So just don't let your tools dictate your creativity. You can do pretty much anything you need to do. Enjoy yourself. Catch you later.